Would you trust AI with your career?
Anything that's going to bring LinkedIn down is in for me. I work with people who tell me that AI isn't coming for their jobs, and quite frankly, it is.
Ever try to take an iPad away from a kid or a teen that is addicted to YouTube? Good luck to you.
Just turn your bloody phone off.
Hello and welcome to episode 97 of Disconnected. I'm your host, Jag Sharma, in Hong Kong, joined by Jen Campbell, who's also in Hong Kong, Jason Kapadia in Dubai, and Felina Tan in London. And together, we'll be delving into the world of AI, tech, and social media, and how it's impacting society and culture. Coming up, OpenAI is working on a LinkedIn killer. Jason's got the scoop, and Jen's excited by the prospect of a world without LinkedIn. Felina's gone dumb for phones and tells us we should too. The bots are swarming all over social media. Have you noticed? Sam Altman has, and he doesn't like it. Irony spectacular, as well as other trending topics. Right, guys, let's get straight into it. Jason, you're telling us that LinkedIn has got some stiff competition on the horizon.
Yeah, so for the last 80 or so episodes of Disconnected, we've been talking about how AI is coming for our jobs. But we have our savior, OpenAI's new jobs platform. Think ChatGPT meets LinkedIn on steroids, minus all the humble brags that Jen loves so much. This thing will use advanced AI to match job seekers with opportunities, personalized recommendations based on your skills, and even streamline the hiring process for companies. So some people are saying that nearly half of entry-level jobs will be gone in the next 5 years. And this new platform will be the help that people need to transition into the new jobs that are being created. So a key feature is that users can get job certified directly within the ChatGPT app. So OpenAI has set a goal to certify nearly 10 million Americans with AI by 2030. And we're already making good progress on that because already 2 million individuals have already completed the OpenAI Academy. And they've got companies on board such as Walmart, which has 1.6 million employees, and they're all apparently going to be using the platform. So this is quite cool because you could just finish a quick online course on prompt engineering and boom, you're certified to land a new AI savvy role. But this platform is not set to launch until 2026, mid 2026. So it's still a while away. But why does this matter? Because the job market's already a roller coaster, especially if you are just starting out in your career. I know, speaking to a lot of people here in the UAE and in the UK as well, that it seems like the job market is harder than ever, especially with white-collar roles. And AI is eating into the roles from, we've been speaking about it for ages, marketing, and in the last episode we're talking about how it's taking up my role as an app developer, and unemployment in creative fields is up, folks are scrambling it seems, and OpenAI's move seems like a savvy PR play. Disrupt the economy, then offer the lifeline, but there's more to that because it's a direct shot, like you were saying, Jag, to giants like LinkedIn, which Microsoft owns, and Microsoft invests in OpenAI, so I'm sure there's some kind of family drama there. But first of all, my question to you guys is, would you trust AI with your career? And do you think this will be successful?
I think it's an interesting question because as someone who just had to go through the trenches of job application and job searching recently, I stumbled upon this tool called Jack and Jill AI, and it is supposed to be, I guess an AI assistant for recruitment. The process was pretty easy. You have a screening call with this robot that will understand your needs, your capabilities, and then it will serve you interesting jobs that I think it's a good fit for. I didn't get a job through Jack and Jill. And to be fair, whatever it served me in terms of recommendations, I was able to find jobs myself quicker on LinkedIn. So I'm very interested to see if LinkedIn does something even better, something even more useful, because I think the most awful thing, or maybe like not awful, but the biggest pain point that I've got with job searching at the moment is, how on LinkedIn you can only search by like job titles and also the region, but you can't search by, let's say, salary or even, like, I guess, specific industries. So yeah, I'm just curious to see what LinkedIn does, and hopefully they're one of those platforms that will do rigorous user testing and get feedback from people and implement what the people want. So yeah, we'll see.
Anything that's going to bring LinkedIn down is in for me. I'm all for it. Not that I think it will bring LinkedIn down. I think from an entry level, you make a really good point. So where people are trying to enter the workforce, and realistically, everybody's CV looks the same, right? You've all done the same degree, you've all gone to a university of a similar standard, and you've probably done work placement. It comes back to that kind of, what's the word? Is it social migration? Something like that? Like how it's who you know, basically. For when you get a degree and you graduate, if you don't know people, then you go into the rat race of applying to jobs with the same skills. So if they're going to offer a platform where you have to spend the time to actually upskill yourself and show that you're dedicated to doing that, and then at the end of that, here's a load of jobs of people who said they will employ people who have done these courses, I think that's great, because it shows willing. I mean, I do think university is going to end up being a little bit null and void in the future anyway. And it will be this kind of learning that people will do, but it shows that you're willing to go above and beyond if you don't have those connections. When it comes to like me looking for a job, even LinkedIn doesn't work, because the thing is, and I'll tell you why in Hong Kong specifically. Okay. So a lot of the jobs will say at my level, I've got like too many years experience, and it will say must have a degree in marketing, preferably a master's. I don't have a degree in marketing. So as soon as I apply through LinkedIn, I go into a bot check that will see my CV and I'll get scrapped to the side. So there's already issues with AI picking jobs for you based on your skills. Like, you still need to be able to, and to be honest with you, it'll just end up with people lying about what they can do to make sure they're picked up by the AI bots. So I think I like the idea of this whole, like, we're going to train you, we're going to give you skills, especially because I work with people who tell me that AI isn't coming for their jobs. And quite frankly, it is. I don't know how many ways I can tell them, if they need to get on board with using it as a tool and stop being resistant to it. So if they can do courses that will get these people on board and see that it's not this scary thing that no one knows how to use, then I think that would be really, really useful. But in terms of actually being able to get me a job, I'm not that hopeful for it.
What was your degree in?
Neuroscience.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Useless when it comes to marketing.
But did you have a good time at uni?
I had a great time.
Well, there we go. Unis will be finished, because if they don't listen to Trump, don't play ball, they're going to get all their funding taken away. So, yeah, maybe we'll have to do online learning from OpenAI. This is an interesting one for me, Jace, because I see some challenges, I see some opportunities. You mentioned one of the key challenges already, a strained partnership. This would directly challenge Microsoft's LinkedIn, and Microsoft is an investor, in OpenAI. So that could have challenges on the relationship. Other challenges that I see, privacy. So how will this AI platform handle sensitive personal data? Bias. Remember we talked about, can't remember, but many, many episodes ago, about the natural bias that's already embedded in AI because of the way it's been programmed. So will that turn into algorithmic bias in hiring? And I think there's an opportunity here. It's an opportunity and both a challenge. So there's an opportunity for a walled garden. So OpenAI having their own certifications, their own academy certifications, they could create their own walled garden to favor roles towards people that have used OpenAI's own certifications, own tools, and favoring those for jobs. But where I see the opportunities, potentially superior matching. Felina and Jen mentioned tools that they'd used, LinkedIn and Jack and Jill, and didn't help them find jobs. So maybe this would. And also there's the upskilling opportunity. So we all want to progress in our careers. We don't want to move sideways. We want to go upwards. So I'm hoping that maybe a tool like this could help find matching roles that actually have genuine growth potential in them. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm not fully against LinkedIn, though, and I do wonder if Microsoft will bend the ear of OpenAI and make sure that it's just a jobs board, and who knows, maybe it'll end up being integrated into LinkedIn.
Yeah, that could be the case. But just imagine a future where you just kind of upload your CV, or ChatGPT already knows all of the things you can do, after having such a long conversation with you over the years. And you could write, oh, crap, like it looks like I'm being made redundant. Find me similar roles to what I have already. Or actually, can you find me other career paths that I could take that, potentially you knowing so much more about me, why don't you find me some roles that are in this salary band, etc. And it can go out and search. Actually, I'm already using ChatGPT to find flights that are under a certain bracket of price, to go back home to the UK, and I'm being a bit cheap, and I'm trying to see what I can find. And the tools on sites like Skyscanner or all the rest of it, it doesn't have those filters. Like you were saying, Felina, there's certain things you can't filter for, and it's just such a hassle to search for it. But this could actually do the searching for you in the background with certain agents, and then it come back with tailored matches, potentially start doing interview prep with you. You can do salary negotiations back and forth with OpenAI's tool, and it's all kind of in one interface. And that means kind of no jumping between apps and email, going like writing back and forth with messages through email and then going through LinkedIn, etc., etc. I do see a future where like your ChatGPT or whatever your AI app is going to be is kind of like your WeChat of China, but it's that one interface you have with the internet, and there's so much potential with it. And I'm sure this is what Sam Altman is thinking about for this all-in-one super app that you could have. But again, it's all going to be down to how much do you trust these AIs, especially with privacy. How much do you want it to know about you and your jobs and your salaries, etc., etc. How much do their tentacles get into your data stream? And data breaches, algorithmic kind of deficiencies could mean that you're screened out of certain jobs that like you were saying, Jag, in terms of bias. And it all happens when they tweak the algo. There's so many things that could potentially happen. But from last episode where we were talking about, do you need to use some of these SaaS apps or other programs anymore where you can get an AI to make a program for you? And then just thinking like, why does it even have to make an app for you to do something? Why can't it just go out and do that thing for you? And this is just kind of the thought that it leaves me with, is that, will ChatGPT be your kind of ultimate life assistant like we all think it probably might end up being? And then, what does that say about our future? Is that are we going to be so reliant on this tool for our jobs, for our livelihood? How do we kind of break away from that? I don't know.
If ChatGPT over time learns about you and, knows you perhaps better than you know yourself, it can be used for many, many more things, not just on the job front. But on the job front, if we start there, imagine you're through, so ChatGPT helped you find a job, you're through round one, you met with the HR bot was okay about you. Round two, open up your GPT, allow it to sit a personality test on your behalf because it knows you better than you know yourself. That personality test is done in a nanosecond, and then you find out in less than a minute if you proceed to stage 3. Like it could be used as a way to represent us because it knows us. Like if the personality test could be like, okay, let's say Felina's going for a job. Okay, Felina's GPT. Here's the personality questions. How do you think Felina would answer? And then it would, answer honestly. How much money would Felina really take? Like, how desperate is she? That would probably be another question as well.
That could happen.
Yes.
That could really happen. Just imagine, OpenAI knows that you're broke. It knows your bank statements. It knows literally you've got less than a month of rent payment left. And it's like, McDonald's is hiring. It's like we can match you to this. And
Felina only buys the best food for Reggie the dog. So Felina will take the hit.
It's scary to think that that's a possibility, but you are right. But yeah.
It could go beyond that though. So let's say when my wife leaves me and then I'm back on the dating scene, could it be that I just say to ChatGPT, can you find another person that matches with me?
No, it could. And like, maybe it integrates with the likes of Tinder and Bumble and, like, I don't know. And then it'll like serve you options within your, proximity and things like that. And then, let's say your new relationship goes well, you guys want to get a pet. They sort of know what sort of people you are in terms of your lifestyle, your personality, and they can serve you dog options and tell you where to get the dog. So yeah, it's nuts.
Imagine
But
how insulting it would be if I did that and then it came back and said, we couldn't find a match within 100 miles. Can you broaden the search?
Just imagine
Yes, global.
Just imagine it says, okay, on your $100 a month plan, we'll give you matches to your personality that maybe you have a 50% likelihood of, having a successful relationship. And then you have to upgrade your tier to get the 60 or 70 or 80%. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
very Black Mirror again.
But Jace, on your point that, you think it could be the single app that we go to, I don't know if it's going to wipe all apps. I think the model will shift from multiple apps to perhaps commanding a single AI agent for most things. But, for highly specialized and complex tools, those could survive as, as separate entities than just an AI agent, I don't think it'll be everything within the next 5 years. I don't think it'll be everything, but who knows the speed of stuff that's developing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be everything, especially say maybe with entertainment apps or, your Instagram or LinkedIn or that. But I do see a world where you could say, look, cut out all the fluff. I just want to see this week's most trending videos, or what do most people like? Just show me those. And then I don't need to doom scroll for an hour. I could just get everything done in 10 minutes. Or, I can just see it doing something like that for a lot of these apps, and maybe it can potentially redirect you to other apps, but with that algorithm or something. There's so many permutations of what could potentially happen, but I think it's going to just eat more into existing apps, rather than displace every single one.
Mm. Oh, fair enough. Good. Thanks for sharing that, Jace. Thank you. Do you know what? Let's move on. And Felina, you've got a couple of interesting things to tell us about. So, yeah, I'll hand over to you.
Yeah. Well, it's a funny one. And like you said in the intro, it is quite ironic. But basically, this week we had Sam Altman posting on X, and he mentioned that he's been reading Reddit. And he said, and this is in quotation marks, of course, I assume it's all fake/bots, and that AI Twitter /AI Reddit feels very fake in a way it really didn't a year or two ago. And again, the irony here is pretty something when you think about it, because obviously we're talking about the CEO of OpenAI, the company that literally created ChatGPT and unleashed this AI technology that's obviously flooding social media left, right, center with bots. So Sam Altman has obviously made, billions building these tools, and now he's somehow, weirdly enough, acting a bit like a concerned bystander watching it all unfold. And he even observes that, again, in quotation marks, real people have picked up quirks of LLM speak. And if you think about it, well, yeah, because that's what exactly you designed them to do. And so, if we think about, again, OpenAI's models, how they were trained on, Reddit data, where he was actually a board member through 2022. So it got me thinking that, look, he makes fair points about engagement algorithms and astroturfing in, this spiel that he had this week. But there's something almost, surreal about positioning himself as, just an innocent observer of a platform, because the problem is it's his technology that significantly created this. The man probably needs to just, I don't know, go touch some grass and recognize that he's not just witnessing this, that he's almost like the architect of it. perhaps that's just my opinion, and I'm really keen to hear what you guys think about it when you read, the article and you saw what he posted on X. Is this classic CEO cognitive dissonance, or is he again like setting up OpenAI's like roommate social platform as like the solution to the very mess that he helped create?
Just as an aside, because when you sent this through, it reminded me of something. One of my favorite things at the moment is how lots of the AI, like ChatGPT or whatever bots people are using to respond to things on LinkedIn are brilliant because they don't understand sarcasm. So people will write something like, oh my gosh, I've had such a great day today. I fell down a hole. I've broken my arm, blah, 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 blah. And someone writes back saying, wow, that sounds like a great day. And I absolutely love it. I see it every day and it makes my day that people just don't understand sarcasm or like the tonality of some of these posts. And like, and then I see people trying to argue with them, which is even better because then I'm like, okay, well, this is another bot that's like obviously been told to go argue with people on LinkedIn. Anyway, it's brilliant. I think he would be remiss not to point out that what he's created has formed a lot of bots putting content out there in the world. I don't know what he's trying to get at. I don't know what the end goal was. He wasn't giving a solution to the problem. He was just saying, look, all this content is actually fake, which is very strange. But I guess getting ahead of a problem before people start pointing fingers at him, perhaps. He might be one of the smart tech people who do that, as opposed to the others who wait and then have to bring in PR teams. But yeah, I think I don't understand where it's coming from. And I do enjoy seeing a lot of these content. So that's my take.
Back in April, I believed it was reported that OpenAI is working on a competitor that's going to be something similar to X, so like their own social network. So I feel this could be convenient timing. If those rumors are still true, that they're developing their own social media platform, it could sound like preemptive strike, preemptive marketing. Yeah, but of course, the profound irony from it all is... it's his technology, his company's technology that blurred the lines, and now lamenting the inability to tell the human from the AI online. But overall, like also I read somewhere that I don't know if it's true, exactly true, but half of all internet traffic is now non-human, and so if this is true, then it's a fundamental shift. And any new platform, including one from OpenAI, would struggle to solve this issue of bots.
Yeah, this dead internet theory we spoke about a couple of episodes ago. It's like fate loves irony, and like you said, Jen, it's like you don't know exactly what he's getting at by showing this, but it's most likely that he's trying to just get ahead of people, accusing them of, I don't know, the whole thing about the internet. The people posting on the internet as genuine comments is just completely gone out the window now, and you just can't tell what's fake and what's not. And the biggest thing is just sentiment. It's like the people are reading the first couple of comments to any particular piece of content that's put out there. It kind of shapes their opinion slightly. And when bots get in there first with some kind of provocative or funny content, it kind of like installs a little program in your mind to say, yeah, okay, actually I agree with that, or whatever. Within the first 10 comments or something, you can find something you agree with, or that kind of shapes your worldview. And it's just slowly this type of content. I think that Sam is just worried about that. But yeah, like you said, he created this beast, and now I don't know how you can kind of just get around that. Yeah, but the one interesting point is about what he was talking about with the astroturfing. Is that paid competitors who are, potentially driving sentiment a certain way. And that's something that's really concerning. I mean, it's been happening for a long time in terms of people posting all that type of content. But I guess just the speed and the way that we can never return to a world where we can have like a proper human conversation with a lot of humans, it leaves us to just like go back to meeting real people and having real life conversations. Yeah.
That's always the answer. Hey, face to face never dies.
Brilliant stuff. So I think, let's move on, Felina. You got another story for us. The new iPhone is out, but you're all about the dumb phone.
I know iPhone 17 looks great, but I'm very interested in AirPods 3 to be fair, because it does the live translation. I think that looks really cool. But anyway, dumb phone. So I guess talking about, face-to-face connections and running away from bots, maybe Sam Altman should check out the dumb phone app. So this is like a fascinating piece of software that essentially turns your iPhone into a minimalist text only interface. So what it does is it strips away all the colorful icons, notifications, dopamine triggering design elements that keeps us scrolling. The irony again, it's quite amazing because we somehow need an app to make our smartphones dumb again because they've become too smart for our own good. I've been getting, targeted by dumb phone app on Instagram like relentlessly. And you can even see like in some of the ads, customer reviews cropping in and like people are freaking loving it. One user said, even caught myself a couple of times already wanting to check my phone, but locked it again because it was so boring. And then there was another person who said, I should have done this to my phone ages ago. Keeps your phone simple and makes you more productive. Again, it's something like funny about this, about paying for an app that is specifically designed to make your expensive smartphone boring. So it's almost like, again, we've come full circle. We spend decades making phones smarter, more connected, more engaging. And then now people are like going backwards by like paying for apps to make them just a phone again, a simple phone. And I don't know. I guess to me, it's almost like this dumb phone movement is, basically admitting that maybe all this technological progress has made us less happy, not more. But this is, I guess an age-old divide that we've always had, which is like, ooh, we worship technology, but then obviously technology brings a lot of, disadvantages as well. So yeah, that was that was the other thing that I spotted this week. And I myself am actually tempted to download the dumb phone app. Paying for it consistently, probably not, but trying it to see if it actually provides some use and reduces my doom scrolling. Why not?
I have a question on that because I haven't actually seen it I've seen pictures of it. I've not seen it in action, but how often do you take or make phone calls?
Ooh, for me, that's a good question. To be fair, I make phone calls every day, but usually it's because to my husband and like maybe like once
That's
a
very
day.
cute.
But that's it. Just
Okay,
because
I asked the question because why not just turn your phone off then? Because if you're not going to be able to do anything else with it, why does the phone even need to be on? And I assume with this app,
because I don't. Oh, I know why. Okay, well, maybe this is just for me, but also because I don't own a watch, and I use my
Okay.
phone to check the time.
Right. Okay. I imagine getting a watch is going to be cheaper than getting this app that's going to stop you from doomsday scrolling. But this is my thing. Like I actually really like it for. Had I been studying now with technology the way it is, I would have 100% needed it because to be able to focus on writing a dissertation or, even just revising, you'd have to put your phone in a box to try and focus. So I think it's really good for that sort of thing. I don't really understand why, if people really want to do that, why not just turn your phone off? And like a lot of the examples are, now I'm really productive at work. Just turn your phone off when you go to work.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm pretty sure your computer has the time on it. So you don't need your watch when you're sat at your computer. So, I think I get it. I completely get it. And I do know why people use it. And I think it'll be very popular because people don't have self-control. But if it's as easy to turn it off as it is to turn your phone back on, I'm going to save everyone a bit of money. I'm going to go money saving expert on everyone. Just turn your bloody phone off.
It's true. Especially in a cost of living crisis.
Yeah, talk about saving money. I mean, this is, I think, where they've kind of innovated here is the user interface of this because, on iOS for a couple of releases now, I think for the last 4 or 5 years, you've been able to put on modes like focus or work or whatever. And in that, you can't use any specific apps that you don't put on your whitelist. So I downloaded the Dumb Phone app, and it's very easy to set up. You basically just set up a widget on your phone with a bunch of the apps that you're saying yes you can use, and it kind of gives you this nice minimalist interface. But you could do it within, if you've got any iPhone or Android that's been made in the last couple of years, you have the built-in features to do this anyway. But again, the main thing is just looks nice, and it's an app, and people just love, paying for a feature. It seems like that just makes things a little bit more pleasing to the eye. And it really does make your phone look like a dumb phone. But, this is another thing that we're talking about, is like how the irony of tech, that we're getting so addicted to these phones. But again, you won't turn off your phone. So you need to have an app to make it less addicting. So, yeah, I don't know. Jag, what do you reckon?
I don't think I could ever turn off my phone just because I'd be too worried in case someone really needs to contact me.
We also know you've got three phones, right, Jag?
I'm down to 2.
Oh, okay, all
right. It got too much to maintain 3 phones. But similar to Felina, I speak on the phone every day. I call my mother every day. I'm a good son. Jason, you should do the same.
Wait, Jag, did you go from 3 phones to 2 because your shorts kept on falling down?
I just couldn't maintain the cost or the reasoning for 3 phone contracts.
Wasn't one of them just for Snapchat?
One of them was just for TikTok, but
TikTok,
it's now easier to access TikTok, so don't need a 3rd phone for that. The thing about, I can see the value of the app. I mean, it's not a true hardware solution, as we've pointed out. There's that temptation. You can simply turn it off or uninstall it. So there still requires significant willpower and self-discipline. I think it could also, in a way, potentially hinder productivity, because if you're blocking all apps, sometimes you'll block genuinely useful tools that you might need for work or a time-sensitive thing that you need to do. So those are the kind of the challenges I see with it. But obviously, I think there's tons of upside to it. Totally would reduce distraction. I get distracted by my phone regularly. I think one thing that hasn't been mentioned, it could promote something that I don't see a lot of these days, especially in Hong Kong. It can help promote presence, like people being present with their physical surroundings, having conversations without the constant urge to check their phone. So
you mean people could sit at dinner and not have their phones in front of them in a restaurant? Could you imagine?
I was just thinking people might walk down the street and look where they're going. I had lower expectation of people continually walking into me on Queen's Road Central.
Oh, you know what you need to get? Get yourself a pram. That's the best outfit for that. When people walk into me, I just bash them with a pram.
Put the cat in it.
It's like bowling.
Yeah.
Wait, Jag, do you walk around with a phone in each hand and then you're blaming people for bumping into you?
Like punching gloves.
I don't walk looking at my phone. I walk looking ahead, looking at the world around me.
He's got his Ray-Bans on. He's doing it through that instead.
Yeah, but all the rest, I see the benefit to it. Could potentially break a strong addiction pattern, decrease screen time, customizable. I like that about it as well. So yeah, I think there's an opportunity for it. I did not download it though. I get Jen's point. Perhaps could just turn off the phone. I'm not needed surely that badly. The world won't miss me if my phone's off for a few hours. So I do get Jen's point, but I just can't imagine turning the phone off,
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? I bet like that majority of people would say exactly the same. It's wild.
Same, me too. I think it's like the moment you see your phone, like, let's say it's 2%, I feel like, oh my God, I will have to run for a charger. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's become like a comfort blanket, to have your phone always on.
My connection to the world,
Yeah. Yeah.
Be more present, Jag. Put your feet on the ground and be present in the world.
Yes, when in public.
When in public.
How boring is it to go for on the bog without your phone, though? Come on.
Oh my life.
Jason.
That is disgusting.
Hey, it's
And that is the end of the podcast.
That's the end of Jason on the podcast. All right, I think we better stop that one there because I don't know where Jason's going to take this one next. But thank you, Felina, and thank you, Jason. Jen, YouTube, you've got an update for us.
Yes, I'm going to give you a very quick update because I saw two things this week from YouTube that made me laugh because they kind of contradict themselves. So as we all know, Australia are soon to or have already started rolling out their social media ban for under 16s. And it's going to be followed by the likes of France, Greece, Denmark, Spain, Norway. Lots of other countries are talking about it. And so initially, YouTube weren't on the list of platforms to be banned in Australia. And then they're back on the list. And so YouTube obviously clocked this and they have decided they're going to create this, what they're called their future report, looking at how European kids, parents and teachers are using YouTube for education. So it's pretty smart of them. They're going down the route of saying, yes, okay, we're an entertainment platform, but if you blanket ban us, it's actually going to ban uses in lots of other areas. And it's quite a big study, I suppose. They've gone across 7 European countries. I think there's like 7,000 people, 7,000 youngsters, and then also parents and teachers aged between 13 and 16. And so 74% of them have said that they use YouTube to learn something new for school. Okay, fair enough. Let's all admit that if we want to learn how to, I don't know, I think Jag gave us an example once of when his lights broke and he needed to figure out how to fix it. He went to YouTube to try and find the video for it, right? So we all know you can learn stuff from YouTube. And then they also said 71% said they use it to learn something new for fun. Okay, well, if I want to learn how to do the Diablo, for example, I might go to YouTube and get some skills and learning. I get it. So the stats are very compelling in that sense. But on the flip side of that, they also ran a separate report, which is called their Cultural Trends Report, that was focused on how 14 to 24-year-olds are using content or creating content for YouTube. And the stats that really pulled out for this, I mean, none of this is music to your ears, right? Like, it's multi-form content. Their youngsters are all creating and curating and watching content, fine. But they has 2 stats that were really interesting. So 59% of teens agreed that their personal sense of style has been shaped by videos and content. And 62% use language or slang that they've picked up from videos or memes. So if the point of trying to ban YouTube for teens is because they want to stop bullying, for example, if 62% of them are saying they're picking up language that they've seen in videos on YouTube, surely that's saying exactly what we wanted to try and ban. And the personal sense of style thing is the same, you know, like, yes, okay, they're going to YouTube for content that is educational, but they're also using it for content that is not. And so let's not shy away from that. So these 2 reports obviously don't have these stats crossing over. I've just done this myself. But then they come down to the teachers and their parents as well. So, you know, 84% of teachers use YouTube in lessons or assignments. My child goes to a kindergarten who the other day pulled up a YouTube video of an animal one of the kids wanted to see. That's how we're classing teachers using YouTube at that age, right? Like, it is being used by teachers and it has got a reason, because in Hong Kong, we don't have giraffes. So if a kid wants to see a giraffe, where are you going to go? Probably YouTube. So you can see where the stats come from, but they're not addressing the key issue, which is how do you ensure the content is separated? And more to the point, how do you ensure the ads that are served within the content are, you know, suitable for the audience they're going at? Unsurprisingly, not in either of these reports. So I did have a quick look because I'm not at the age yet where I have to worry about Eloise getting onto YouTube and seeing things she shouldn't see. But I was looking at YouTube Kids and also the supervised experiences. And to be fair to YouTube, they have put some things in place. You know, they do have some good intentioned functionality, like there's no autoplay on videos for teens. So it stops them from this continuous video scrolling. They have to keep pressing to play. You can get an alert when your kid goes live or when they post a video, which I think is super smart, because then you'll be the first, hopefully, to see it if you get that alert quickly enough. And they do also have limitations on repeat videos, and they have limits on how often they will recommend content to kids to watch as well. So there are some things that are in place, but I think the thing for me here is that they are coming out with good, compelling reasoning, but it'll get picked apart in about 3 seconds because it's not addressing the overall point and the problem that is social media as a whole and the bigger picture and why it's being banned in the first place, you know. So I just thought it was interesting. There's 2 reports if you're interested. One of them is the Future Report, which came out on the 8th of September, and the other is the Cultural Trends Report, where they talk about a maximalist moment reshaping culture. And if that isn't a load of BS, I'm not entirely sure what is. Anyone read them? Anyone care? Jason, you've got kids that are old enough to be on YouTube. What do you think?
Ooh. I think out of all of the social media platforms, YouTube is probably the least dangerous, but also I think it's like so addictive. So like I said, when we spoke about, I don't know how many episodes ago, that I kind of banned the kids off regular YouTube, but I think so what my kids really use it for right now is just YouTube music, right? So they play through one of those Google speakers. They play all their music through that. So I wonder if they're going to ban that as well. That's going to be crazy. But I think Google has the AI chops now, especially with them being able to go through each video. If you put it into Gemini, any YouTube video, it can summarize the content, even if there isn't any subtitles or anything. It can give a really good explanation of what's going on in the video. So I just don't understand why they just can't classify the videos as safe based on what the AI thinks and what's on the screen. So it's not just going through the audio, it's also the visuals as well. Just put it through a bunch of AI models and come up with a classification, and then just show those ones to unregistered users. And if not, then just, if they want other content, then they have to register and pass all the data checks. I still don't know how Australia is going to kind of get around, taking the kids' IDs and all of that type of stuff, and how that's going to work from a privacy point of view. But hey, anyway, yeah, Jag, what do you reckon?
So, yeah, my nephews, they're 14. They're pretty addicted to YouTube. But I see benefits. Educational content, tons of it. Vast libraries, tutorials, documentaries, educational videos, countless topics. I think the other thing is it's the exposure to creativity and inspiration for kids, for everyone. Music, art, DIY projects. Jen mentioned that earlier. That was my DIY project. Positive role models can spark new interests. And I think there's a few other benefits as well. Cultural exposure. So it provides a window to different cultures, different languages, global perspectives. As Jen mentioned, for a kid in kindergarten that lives in a place where there's no giraffes, they can see what a giraffe looks like. And also entertainment and relaxation. It's a source of age-appropriate entertainment and a way to unwind. And if we think in an age of streaming, we talked about the streaming wars on the last episode, parents who don't want to fork out money for Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, etc., there is entertainment-related content for kids on YouTube. But I think the points that Jen covered, there's a ton of inappropriate content, high risk to exposure of violent, sexual, unsuitable content that the algorithms can autoplay if that's not switched off. Lack of moderation. YouTube has been famous for this for a long time. The comment section can be toxic. The videos are potentially not as moderated as well as they could be. There's opportunity for bullying, for spam, for predatory behavior through the comments, through connecting. Addictive algorithms. You mentioned it, Jason. YouTube is highly addictive. I completely agree. It's designed to keep viewers watching. It can lead to excessive screen time and unhealthy habits. Ever try to take an iPad away from a kid or a teen that is addicted to YouTube? Good luck to you. And misinformation through ads. So that's a challenge as well. Felina, thoughts?
I'd be really keen to see which of all the social media platforms which are really popular. So whether that's, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, all of it, like which social media platform will have, like almost a gold standard kid safe, I guess, set of guidelines, which one will be the first, because I feel like, there's been so much chatter about this over the last few years, and like this report, as Jen said, it's a bit BS because it's a bit smoke and mirrors. They're only, selectively pulling out the stats that make YouTube as a brand look good, but they're not head on addressing the risks and obviously the concerns from parents, teachers, guardians, all sorts. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to a day when one of the platforms implement the gold standard, and hopefully the rest will follow suit, because we keep seeing all these, dramatized scenarios on TV and, in films and stuff. But when when will it be? So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
They keep avoiding it, YouTube. They've been
Yeah.
at it for years and they keep avoiding it. So I don't think it'll be YouTube that will be the ones that step up. But Jason's point around Google having the AI chops to do something about it, they can if they really want to. Or who knows, more countries might end up like Australia or even like Nepal and just pull the whole plug. And then you get all of Gen Z rioting. But that was quite sad what happened. But we won't go into that on this episode. That was quite sad though. Do you know what, guys? I think we'll wrap it up there. And thank you guys for joining. I know each and every one of you had to put in an extra effort to join today, so I really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you, Jen. Thank you, Felina. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, listeners. This has been episode 97 of Disconnected. And we'll see you on the next one.